Welcome back to Colonial Stadium for this round 5 match between the Saints and the Swans. Michael Christian, my co-commentator, good evening.
Good evening, Steve. Yes, looking forward to the match, and a big challenge, obviously, for the Saints to get over the Swans tonight.
And Robert, it was very pleasing to hear Grant Thomas in that interview with Gerard Whateley saying that he's here to win.
Yes, I think that's important that they do go out to win, not to save the game, not to load their back line and make sure they don't get beaten by 10 or 12 goals. That's the way to approach this match because it gives your players hope.
Well, Maxie Hutchins got the job on his former teammate Barry Hall, who many predict will kick an absolute bagful tonight. That remains to be seen. Max Hudson matches up well with Barry Hall. As we start this game at Colonial Stadium, here's Michael Christian.
First bounce, one forward by Doyle, ground level Thompson. Secondary ball up. Huge challenge for the Saints. Lots of words about the key players that they're missing from this lineup. And of course the Swans coming off that dramatic win over the Kangaroos last week at the SCG. Doyle. Chance at Creswell. Now with Saddington. Kick around the body to half forward. Lawrence almost. Appear to be held. No free kick. At ground level. Cripps. Well played by the Saints. They work it clear. Now it's with Jones. Centre wing. Schwartz a chance. Hayes has been a good player for them. Certainly was last week. Kick to half forward was poor. Dunkley. And Kelly just goes back inside the 50 to Seymour.
And Seymour switches to the Docklands side of the ground. It's Nix who chips it over the top to Schwartz, who's got about 25 metres of space. Gives it to Williams, who's back in the side this week. Creswell fumbled but had time to recover. Back to Schwartz. Schwartz to the 50, good kick to O'Loughlin on the half volley, traps it nicely. O'Loughlin sold the dummy, back to Matthews on the left. Now inside, Peckett's underneath it, and he dropped the mark. Has he got time to recover? He can't. Bad mistake by Justin Peckett, who dropped one that he should have taken, but it's always very easy up here.
Capuano did the centre bounce for St Kilda, and then he's pushed deep into defence, get in front of Barry Hall, and Peckett wrapped up there by 2 or 3 Swans, and good sign for Sydney that.
So a bounce down deep inside Sydney's attacking territory. Capuano. Now what's happened here? Has he been pinged for a shepherd? Gee. And I don't think anyone knows what's going on, but it looks like Capuano has been penalised for a shepherd, and Doyle will get the free kick. That's an intriguing one.
Yeah, what I didn't like about that opening bounce, Steve, was that Capuano did the centre ruck work for St Kilda, and he immediately went backwards to get in front of Barry Hall. That to me is a bit too defensive first up. Free kick against Capuano. He had his hand on Doyle. Very, very soft free kick.
Very soft. So Doyle, 45-degree angle, only 35 metres out from goal. Kicking to the Tony Lockett end in this first quarter are the Swans. And just behind to young Stephen Doyle. Bit happening off the ball at the moment, so Saints are going in hard early, which is what we want to see.
Jones short. Cripps gets the call from Baker, and the Saints work it out at their defensive 50. Milne, clever mark, and he is a very clever player. Only kicked one last week, but it's a real goal kicker for the Saints.
Gee, Sydney's got so many players back. That's why the youngster's waiting, and he's actually going to kick backwards because he looked forward and all he could see was red.
Capuano out wide. Rewalt's good mark.
Oh, that's a wonderful mark by Nick Rewalt.
Chips it across. Jones, point of the square, right half forward. Saints looking for a way forward. Outnumbered in their attacking 50. So Jones just bombs it up. Oh, great mark taken by Oliver. Well, he was earmarked for Sydney Swans, but just too good.
It was a terrific mark. 2 very good marks by young St Kilda players. Nick Rewalt took the first one, and this one by Oliver is just a beauty. Gee, got off the ground there, and against Dunkley, the experienced full-back. And what all St Kilda supporters will be hoping is that the young fellow can put it through.
Well, he's just 35 metres from goal. Angle is very slight. And he's missed, as you can see. So a disappointing start to the Saints. They really need to get away to a good start, and that would have been a very handy goal in the early part. We've played 4.5 minutes in this opening quarter, and it's one behind apiece.
Schwass to bring it back into play. Gee, it was a great mark by Chris Oliver. Just couldn't finish off his good work. Schwass gets the hurry up. Bangs it long. His target is Doyle. Capuano nudged him out nicely, but Sydney have numbers at the ball. Kelly, slick hands to Creswell. To Falstein, showing a good turn of speed. Looking for Goods. In the pocket is O'Loughlin, but Riewoldt gets back and saves the day. We're going to throw in.
Riewoldt's moved to centre half back, playing on Adam Goods. And it'll be Goods to do the ruck work. Doyle has stayed out of the forward line for Sydney. And Capuano, Goods. You can see that Goods is getting his hands up, letting the umpire know, I'm not going to infringe in this contest.
So Capuano got the front posse and knocks it back over the line for another throw-in.
Really pleased to see Max Hudson playing at full-back. Max Hudson is a defender, not a forward, and they need to play him where he plays his best football.
So another throw-in. Close to Sydney's goal. Doyle tapped it into the hot spot. Hall's there. Little soccer by Aussie Jones. Williams. Good hands to Creswell. He's going backwards. Run down by Milne. Now too high, said the umpire. So the ball will come back to Darren Creswell. Man of the moment for the Sydney Swans, kicking that after the siren goal last week.
I don't think he'll kick a goal this time. Yeah, Milne over the shoulders, and definitely a free kick. Too far out to kick a goal. He'll be looking for a lead.
Creswell, half forward, kicks to the lead of Kelly. He came charging out, couldn't control it all. Head down from Voss. No free kick, or is there? There is. Paid by umpire Kelsey, who wasn't the umpire in control. Baker has it. Begley, oh dear. Kick went about 5 metres to Lawrence. Now back to Begley. They need to be direct, the Saints. Now he pumps it long inside, attacking 50. Oliver outnumbered this time. He couldn't beat the numbers. Mark taken by Saddington.
Matthews to Crouch. Oh, good pressure by Milne. He loves to kick a goal. He's trying to sidestep his opponent. Can't do so. So he goes backwards, 25. The only option he had, it was a good one. And Peckett almost on the wing to Clark. He can go on. Pumps it long, but there was no one home.
Bad choice, because there were Sydney players back there on that last line of defence, and the youngster will probably get a message. Just control the footy a little bit better than that. The runner's going out now.
Kelly has it at half-back. High. Fist from Begley. Well positioned by Lawrence. Handball a little bit behind Voss, but he was good enough to go back and get it. Now it's with Clark. Can he use the ball a bit better on this occasion? Still no one to kick to. He kicks towards a great attempt by Oliver. Play on's the call. Schwartz around the body. He's kicked a goal for the Saints. So the Saints have first blood here at Colonial Stadium. 1 goal, 1-7. Sydney, one behind.
And Troy Schwartz usually plays in defence, and he's up forward with Oliver. Gets it on the boot. He's happy. The Saints are happy. Their supporters are happy, and they're off to a good start. Xavier Clark, the young man in picture, the runner's just been out to him. He won the footy and just kicked it too long to a nest of Sydney players.
So first blood to the Saints. They are here to win. We heard it from coach Grant Thomas, and they lead by a goal. We've been going 8.5 minutes in this first quarter. It's Doyle against Capuano. Capuano won, but it's sharp by Williams to half forward. Good kick to Kelly, who was fantastic last week. Waste no time to Hall. The chopping off the space was Capuano.
And that's his job for the evening, Capuano, just to get back and block the leading space of Barry Hall.
He shorts it to Baker. And Baker goes inboard to Aussie Jones. Just the 15 metres. Peckett trying to create something here, the Saints. Now Hudson haven't really achieved much. about 7 or 8 possessions. And they've really travelled forward about 2 metres. Now Peckett again. That's better. Creates an opening. Voss to centre half forward. Pumps it long. Oliver. Dunkley. Experience wins out. Seymour. And now Sydney have the numbers as Crouch takes the ball away.
Has a bounce. Now gets it to Maxfield. Between wing and half-back, Stuart Maxfield has Fosdyke in support. Pumps it high. Barry Hall on the lead. Well played, Hodgson. Now Lawrence has got a loose player, a couple of loose players inside, taken by Begley. Capuano, who's seen a lot of it early. High kick, Maxfield. Baker, well played Baker. Mill, inside attacking 50. Great kick under pressure by Baker.
It was, and this little fella with the ball, very lively, very cheeky, and loves to kick a goal.
Well, he's right on the edge of his range, Stephen Mill.
Torpy?
No, I think he should just go back, kick a drop punt. If he gets onto it, should make the distance. St Kilda need a player back on the goal line, though.
Kicks to the top of the goal square, and, well, comfortable mark. No contest at all. Doyle to Schwass. And the Swans get it to O'Loughlin at half-back.
And that's where they let themselves down, St Kilda. Like Milne spent 15 seconds lining up to have that kick, and Oliver or Schwartz should have been back on the goal line.
Now Schwartz has his handball, partially smothered by Lenny Hayes, but he wins it back. Good work. And there's a cross half-back. It's Fosdyke. Kelly got a horrible bounce. Now Beetham sweeps it to Lawrence. Overran it. Thompson's there to back up. Back to Beetham. Lawrence to Baker. The handle is poor. Puts Baker right under the pump, and he did well. To Lenny Hayes. Now the umpire bring it back. Sellers holding the ball. As Saddington gives it to Maxfield.
Kick short, close to the line, out on the full. And Rob, both sides playing flooding tactics, really. They've got 2 or 3 extra defenders.
Sydney in particular have got the numbers back. Rodney Eade wouldn't be happy because the last thing he would have wanted would be for the Saints to have a good first quarter so that their supporters get excited and get behind the team. They've been down for a couple of weeks in Kilda, and Sydney's coach would have wanted that to continue. So 12-minute mark of this first term, and the Sydney team yet to kick a goal.
Blake, nothing to kick there, so forced to go back to Capuano. Point of the square at right half back, and really
He had nothing to kick to either, though, did he?
no, and he kicks back to Beetham, where the original kick came from. Dangerous short kick is marked by Rewalt.
See, the only tall options they've got up forward are Schwartz and Oliver, who between them have probably played about 3 games in the forward.
Now there's a free kick. Umpire Mitchell has picked out a St Kilda free kick against Seymour. It'll go to Schwartz now
For holding.
for holding.
Yep. And the youngster should, again, go back. This is within his range. He'll kick from about 52 metres out. And again, there's no St Kilda player back on the goal line. St Kilda, Sydney ruckman Doyle back there.
He'll kick from 50. Loads up and drills it. St Kilda had their second, and they lead by 12 points, 13 minutes into this first quarter.
And Troy Schwartz, well done. He's only played a dozen games of league football.
Yes, his 12th game.
He's kicked that from just outside 50, and it's cleared the fence. And what a terrific start for the young fellow. And their other tall forward option, Oliver, he's only played 4 or 5 games himself, so very inexperienced up forward, but they've been good.
So Rodney Eade, a little bit concerned. Troy Schwartz is playing his 12th game of footy. Before tonight, he'd kicked 1 goal in his career. He's doubled that now. Well, he's tripled it. He's up to 3 because he's got the first 2 of the game. And then going 14 minutes in this first quarter, and the Saints on the attack again. Voss. Short. It's come off as the Saints work the ball forward. Here's Lenny Hayes. Oh, ran straight into O'Loughlin. Handball to Baker, who got caught high. Now Crouch attacked the football, as did Milne. Comes to Thompson. Little left foot kick. Is it 15 metres? Umpire said yes.
Oh, just the bare 15 metres, Stephen. But good use of the ball by St Kilda. They didn't just bomb away. A little bit of composure there, Michael, and it's good to see that they're just not being intimidated or overawed. And Andrew Thompson there on the left foot, a little chip pass, and Blake able to take it comfortably just off the ground.
They just haven't panicked. They've had plenty of opportunities to panic, but they've kept their head.
Yep.
And have moved the ball very, very well.
This is another youngster in the St Kilda team, only played 28, 29 games. Yeah, they've got a dozen of them who've played 30 games or less in this evening.
Kicked just 6 goals in his short AFL career so far. Jason Blake.
That was touched off the boot.
And it's a behind. So at the halfway mark of this first quarter, it is St Kilda 2-2. The Swans just the one behind.
Matthews at fullback. Not too much on offer. The Saints zoning up. Decides to kick long. Dunkley, strong hands. Uses Williams, who has Swass on the wing. Beautiful kick to position from Williams. Goods at half forward. Intent on getting on with it quickly. Drives it long to the goal square. Getting back. Voss, who's been very good early. His kick just missed the mark, and he'll be disappointed with that. Brett Voss has had 6 possessions already.
Let's go down to Gerard Whateley with a report on Paul Kelly.
Well, as Kelly left the ground a few minutes ago and's got strapping on his left knee now after some consultation with the doctor. There was a suggestion during the week that he wouldn't play tonight, so it remains to be seen how much time he's got left in him.
McPherson brings it back towards Hall. Hudson did well. Oh, Nick's almost pushed in the back. No free kick. Begley under pressure. Jones. Well, hoisted high. Sets Beetham a task. Swassing from the side. Thumps it to the line.
Yes, Paul Kelly, in fact, was in hospital this week on a drip, an antibiotic drip, after having some problems with scabs on his knees and became affected.
Just interesting, Capuano, who's been dropping back in front of Barry Hall, now Doyle's going back with him.
Max Hudson not looking too flash as the Swans try to work it forward. Get it to their 50, but Aussie Jones is there for St Kilda. Begley run down. Jones once more. Game tackled. And we'll have the ball up.
And I think that's good coaching by Rodney Eade. Capuano dropping back. He wasn't going to let St Kilda have that extra man back in defence, so Doyle's been told to go back with him. Means that Sydney forward line is a little bit crowded with Doyle alongside Barry Hall.
So at half forward for Sydney, down it goes. Good tap to Voss from Capuano. Now Creswell for Sydney. Matthews, Williams into the pocket. O'Loughlin, can he weave some magic? Almost. A rush behind for the Swans.
Well, Stephen, you take this 18 minutes into the first quarter and Sydney only the 2 behinds on the board.
Jones at fullback has Blake inside defensive 50. Ignores that. Instead decides to kick long. Saddington with the set. Oh, up high. Couldn't complete the mark. Numbers with the Swans. Chance low for Clark of the Saints. Nick's head down. We'll get a bounce. They'd be well pleased with the opening 19 minutes, the Saints. Max Hudson recovering from that heavy knock. Big job tonight on Barry Hall.
Well, Max Hudson was played as a forward last week. Steve Lawrence was played as a forward. They're defenders, so the match committee's got it right this week.
Capuano needs to get it out quickly. Bolton tried to play for a free kick. Hayes. Rewalt, little fumble, but has got plenty of time. Uses Hudson. Sweeps to Hayes. Going up and down in the one spot a little bit, St Kilda, but Hayes kicks brilliantly to Milne. Good hands by Stephen Milne.
And again, he'll wait because they haven't got many tall options up forward.
One of them is Oliver. He goes in that direction. The kick was ill-directed. Dunkley fists it over the line. A hopeful Saints fan. Boundary throw in. Right half forward. Saints lead by a couple of goals. 19 minutes into this first quarter. McPherson, good tackle by Hayes. Another boundary throw in. Saints, very impressive start. Doyle gets it down. McPherson scrambles a kick out of the congestion. Goods up high, couldn't take the mark. Voss hurries it towards half forward and bounces just inside.
Brett Voss's 8th possession in this first quarter, so he's pretty much playing midfield, wing, and getting plenty of the ball. And Capuano, we see on picture there, he's done a pretty good job. He's having a bit of a spell, and Trent Noble comes on the ground.
Schwass has got 8 touches so far for Sydney. He's their main possession getter. The Saints have the ball at their 50. Again, a gang tackle, this time on Beetham. The umpire comes in to separate.
Didn't have much choice there, just had to tuck the ball under the arm and take the Sydney defenders on.
Trent Noble, number 33 to the right of picture. He's 2 kicks behind play. Again, just getting back there, getting in the path of Goods and Barry Hall and Michael O'Loughlin.
Doyle. A fist to it. Williams. Did it nicely. Looks for and finds Nix on centre wing. He's off and running. Fosdyke will go over the top to Matthews, who could almost run on here and kick a long goal. Instead, he opted for the pass. Mightn't have been the right option, and Rewalt did very well under pressure. Kelly got a bad bounce, and the Saints are away here at Colonial Stadium.
Hayes kicks towards the leader, Thompson, close to the line. He keeps it in. Baker the pressure. In the end, the boundary throw in. Maxfield. Great play from Rewalt because he just worked the angle and just cut that kick off.
He got in front and he attacked the ball, took it down low. For a tall man, it was a very good effort.
In front, Oliver down to Thompson. Oh, handball missed Lawrence. And Clark's tied up on attacking 50.
Andrew Thompson playing on Darren Creswell, the hero from last week. Xavier Clark, the young boy in picture from St Mary's in Northern Territory. He's got some really good skills, just his 3rd game.
Saints in to attack. They lead by 2 goals, 21 minutes in. Oliver to the back, Beetham. Gets around a couple, or does he? Well tackled by Maxfield. Now Doyle sweeps it into the path of Schwass, who indiscriminately kicks it straight out of bounds on the full.
And Steve Lawrence telling him, had you a little bit worried there, Swatter.
So free kick on centre wing to Begley. I don't think Wayne Schwass has ever taken a backward step in his career. You're too worried with that. It's a bad kick by Begley, and Dunkley takes a pretty easy mark at half-back. Schwass to Crouch. Looking for O'Loughlin. 3-on-1 here in favour of St Kilda. And the weight of numbers wins out Voss, who's been very busy. He's got Rewalt.
9.
Yep, he's got Rewalt out the other side. He finds him nicely. Here's Ozzie Jones. Short to Schwartz. Takes the mark.
And that was good that Ozzie Jones honoured the lead of Schwartz. He's going to give it back to Ozzie. Just a little bit too far out for Ozzie to score there. He's a lovely kick. And Oliver.
It's been told to play on. He gets past Saddington. Squares it up. God, just too much juice on the kick for Noble. Almost came off. But now Sydney are away.
Right intentions there. Just a metre over Noble's head.
Creswell runs from half-back. There's plenty of time, but nothing to kick to. Both sides have got players back at half-back, so not so many options. He forced the kick short to Bolton. Now St Kilda have a couple of loose players back across their half-back line. So Bolton squares it up. Schwass, who switches a play, wobbly old kick. Gets to Saddington. Support inside from Fosdyke. Looping handball, Maxfield. Did well. Well, the kick was ordinary. Lawrence, head down. We get a free kick.
Big Barry Hall hasn't touched the football so far.
Begley, right half back for the Saints. Oh, dangerous kick. Rewalt, look out. He gets up. Well done. Now Dal Santo. Centre wing. Handball to Baker. Back to Dal Santo. Mill. Fist from Crouch. Saints still a chance. They've got some numbers. Can Milne weave some magic? He can. Brilliant piece of play. Oh. Kick let him down. Still Saints in the van. Voss. Cripps. It's scrambly. But they're giving a contest, the Saints. Sweeps it to Lawrence, who fumbles. And again. Oh, you can't afford to do that. The Swans out of trouble.
And behind play, Riewoldt still down. He was winded, but he's up now and moving. He's okay. There's on the wing. This is a great tight game of footy.
And Nick Riewoldt was magnificent. He had to go for that hard ball. He went for it. He got knocked hard by O'Loughlin. And that really shook him up, but he's really shaken there, but he gets up. His next instinct is, I've got to get up. I've got to show that I'm okay. He's hurting, but he's up on his feet. Well done, young fella.
So there he is, the #1 draft pick from last year, Nick Riewoldt. And isn't there some outstanding young talent coming through in the AFL? As at half forward, the mark's taken for Sydney by Fosdyke. Just a tad over 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Barry Hall can't get near it in this first term. Not really his fault, as once again the Saints mop up. Riewoldt finds Cripps. He's got Aussie on. Good running by Aussie Jones. Now he gets the handball. Has he got anywhere to kick? He goes for Mill and finds him.
And the little fella's presented time and again. Is the smallest player on the ground for St Kilda, but he just runs hard and puts himself in a position to receive.
But he's got absolutely nothing to kick to. We've seen more sideway kicks than forward kicks so far, haven't we, in this game? So Milne has just got no options.
It's his 4th mark. Pretty good effort for a little forward pocket player.
So he goes long, but Sydney have the numbers. And it's a mark. It's not too easy. Schwass. Saddington. And he's got O'Loughlin on, and that's where he handballs. As he goes to the wing and finds Goods.
Both teams are forcing each other wide. Not much direct play at all.
Goods chips towards Doyle. Begley, well done against his taller opponent. Well played go by Goods. Second effort, Creswell. Now O'Loughlin. Swans working it forward. Oh, brilliantly played by Peckett. McPherson just had to sit and wait, and Peckett arrived just in time with the fist. 13 possessions for Wayne Schwass.
Trent Noble in front of Barry Hall. They're making life very hard for Big Bad Barry, double teaming him.
McPherson weaves a handball through the pack to only as far as Voss. Lawrence. Now there's a free kick coming back. It'll go St Kilda's way.
Let's go down to Jared Waitley.
There's a fair bit of nervous excitement amongst Saints fans who sense an opportunity. They are riding every kick and every bump really hard down here.
Dal Santo. There's a loose player at half-back. Beetham. He's got Noble out wide. He ignores that and goes into the centre to Blake. The run provided by Dal Santo. Just his second game. Baker. Well, Milne got in his way in the end. Hoisted high inside attacking 50. Schwartz claims it and not paid. Play on. Bounce.
You can just see the numbers there. Again, once they get the ball into their forward line, the Saints, they're just outnumbered. Saddington, Seymour and Schwartz in the middle of it. Claimed the mark, but it was no mark. He's done very well, young Schwartz, across half forward, kicked 2 goals.
Indeed, the whole St Kilda team have done well against the odds. Quarter time. It's St Kilda 2-2-14 leading Sydney 2 behind Robert Walls.
Yes, and you said Sydney were unbackable, Stephen. Well, we've seen a few surprises, haven't we, in this round? Collingwood got up on Anzac Day and the Eagles got up against Brisbane, ended their magnificent winning run. Maybe this might be the 3rd one.
Well, so far, so good for St Kilda. But there's a long way to go in this game. At the moment, it's the Saints 14 leading the Swans 2.
It was a fierce, full and frank discussion, Wolsey, I can promise you that.
So we start this second term. It's the Saints by 2 straight kicks. Now it goes in the middle. Doyle fists it forward. Callahan's on for the Saints, got ringed into the ground, and that's a free kick. So Callahan, who had shoulder Rico during the off-season, is playing his first game of the year. Here's Begley. Cripps out wide to Riewoldt. Riewoldt at half back. Just weighing up the options.
This frustrates the crowd because there's no action, just a player sitting on the ball. We will get to the stage where they'll have a certain number of seconds to get rid of it, otherwise the umpire will call play on.
Riewoldt bangs it long to a big pack of players. And now we have a throw in. So just a minute gone in this second term. St Kilda 2-2. Both goals kicked by Troy Schwartz. He was a famous, well, he was a famous Swan. He was a famous Roo. Famous demon. Ron Barassi looks on.
Kelly going hard for the Swans. Another big pack.
And of course, Ron Barassi's on the Sydney board and very proud to be there. He takes a great interest in the Sydney Swans. He coached up there for a few years in the 90s.
Better say famous Blue as well before I offend Carlton fans.
Right half forward for the Saints. They lead by a couple of goals early in this second quarter. They've made a very good account of themselves to date. Doyle doing well in the ruck. Chance out wide for Thompson. Now Callahan wants his left side. Oh, his handball intended for Oliver, just chopped off by Seymour. And well played by Seymour. He was able to force a boundary throw in. Major ball magnets.
Aussie Jones been very good across half-back for St Kilda. Uses the ball so well. And Callahan going with Swass.
Doyle forward of the pack. Kelly keeps it in cleverly. Schwass scrambles it. Peckett did well. He's in front of Kirk. And in the end, quite content, I think, to run it over the boundary line.
So 2.5 gone in this second term. That was the score at quarter time.
Kelly playing in the midfield, Stephen, which I think is good. They played him in the forward line for the first 3 or 4 games, but he's back to his best, and midfield's where he should play.
Dal Santo chips it to Voss. Has to wait a while, but he takes the mark. To Aussie Jones. Puts the foot on the accelerator. Drills a long left footer. Can Schwartz get there? He can't. Got it to Peckett, though. Handball over the top. But it went straight to Crouch, who goes towards the boundary line and did it nicely.
Well, 2 Sydney players crashing into each other.
Kirk and Seymour.
And Rob, it's easy to see when the ball is on the wing. Sydney have Dunkley free in their defensive zone, and the Saints Capuano.
Yes, playing the ruckman behind the play, and I think that was Fraser Gehrig in the crowd watching on. Or was it Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah. Well, they're both inactive at the moment.
The bounce on the wing. No score to date in this second term. Oliver, Kelly fends off Jones and slips the handball to Creswell. Ball bouncing inside the centre square. Riewoldt first there, put the head down. Good tackle by Bolton. And Riewoldt in the end, perhaps a little lucky not to be penalised.
Working hard for front position though, Riewoldt. He's playing on Adam Goods and he's getting to the ball first. Now, I would think that's just about holding the ball because he did duck his head.
Had prior opportunity, didn't he?
Prior opportunity to get rid of it, even though it was only half a second. He decided to duck his head and hang on to the football.
Perfect bounce. Capuano gets it down. Milne. Clever. Almost just went to ground at the wrong time. So another bounce. Just the attacking side of the centre circle for the Swans. St Kilda interchange bench. Played 5 minutes in this second quarter. Saints doing it well at the moment. Doyle over the top. Lawrence in the way. Jones, and he's wrestled to the ground again. Play just very stagnant at the moment.
So let's see if we can have a break here. Someone can get something running going. Not very pretty at the moment, but if you're a Saints fan, more than satisfied. O'Loughlin. Jones. Now O'Loughlin once again. Trying to get it to Goods. Ooh, there's a couple of good heavy tackles laid there. Umpire let it go. Blake dispossessed. Fosdyke. Kirk. Thompson on hands and knees. Got it out to Hayes, who kicks it to centre half forward. Schwartz attacks the footy. Couldn't control it. Coming through is Voss. Fosdyke. Here's a chance for Sydney. Kelly sweeps it out wide to Matthews. Matthews goes to Hall. But it's 3-on-1 in favour of the Saints. Jones. Begley. We'll have he's been pinged. We'll have a free kick to Sydney. 50 metres out. Cripps is the man. As Aussie Jones looks like he might have done a hammy.
Oh, that's tragic news.
He has been
St.Kilda.
firing for the Saints.
He's been in great form. Looks like he's clutching that left hamstring.
You'd think they'd due for some luck injury-wise, wouldn't you? As we see Aussie Jones here trying to pick it up and twang.
Yeah, just as he was bending over to get that ball. Well, that's the end of him, you'd think, for 2 or 3 weeks.
12 possessions he's had so far. That's a tragedy for the Saints tonight.
Important kick this by the captain. They need to kick a goal. Haven't kicked one yet. 7 minutes into the second quarter.
Paul Kelly. He was off target last week. And he's hit the post. So last week Paul Kelly kicked 1 goal for. He was probably best on ground, but just didn't finish off his good work. Yes,
it was the best that Paul Kelly had played for 2 seasons, I thought. And I think he's made a decision, Kelly, that he's had his hamstring problems. Rodney Eade watching on, and he feels as if he's ready to get back into the midfield. He doesn't want to be pensioned off to the forward pocket. He wants to be in the thick of the action where he's so very good.
Peckett kicks it low towards Capuano. Fist coming from Dog. Kelly squared it up looking for Fosdyke. Now Thompson has support out wide with Callaghan and Voss. Little handball looking for Hayes just inside the line. Keeps it in. Wolf gets his first possession of the evening. Dumps it high. Seymour read it brilliantly. Williams at half-back as a loose player in the centre. Kelly, a little fumble. Deft touch coming from Williams. Lawrence in hard on top of Williams. Swans force it forward. Saddington lost the handle. Now O'Loughlin. 60 from goal. Kick around the body. Needs some courage. Cripps dropped the mark. Well played though by Thompson. Just intercepted the Kirk handball. And the Saints desperate in defence. Although what's Capuano done? He's kicked it out on the full. So the Swans another chance for their first goal of this match. We've played 9 minutes second term. The Swans have scored just 3 behinds. Bolton runs around in the pocket, kick around the body. Misses. 4th behind to the Swans.
And Paul Kelly really starting to have an impact on the game. After a slow start, he was off early. He's had 10 disposals over the last 20 minutes, so he's really starting to get motoring.
9-minute mark of this second term. It's St Kilda by 10 points. They kicked the only 2 goals of the match, both by Troy Schwartz. Aussie Jones has just limped off for St Kilda. Looks like he's twanged the hammy, and his night is over. Just keep on falling down at Moorabbin at the moment. The Saints, it's terrible luck. This is Blake. Nowhere to go. So he goes sideways to Capuano. Cripps. Here's Baker. Oh, and they go back again. Callaghan looks for Lawrence on defensive 50. But what's he got up forward? Not much. dinky handball over the top for Dal Santo.
And the way St Kilda's playing after, look, you have to admire them, but they haven't scored in this second quarter, and we're 10.5 minutes in. And you can just see Sydney kicking 2 or 3 quick goals, and all their work's undone.
From the boundary throw-in, Bolton. Creswell out wide, got a bad bounce. Dal Santo did well, attack the ball. And Rob, there's also seems to be a reluctance by St Kilda players to kick to one-on-one contest, because Blake had an opportunity a few moments ago, but decided to kick short just to maintain possession.
Yep.
Boundary throw-in, half forward for the Swans. Doyle gets it down. Big pack of players around the football. Thompson fighting hard at ground level, the Saints. Little clever kick around the body by Oliver, gains 25 metres and a boundary throw-in.
Well, the ball's gone out of bounds on the wing, and St Kilda haven't got anyone in their front half.
Margin 10 points, 11 minutes, second term. Bolton over the top. Lawrence took a high tackle, thumps it forward. And as you said, Rob, no one there. Dunkley fists it straight back over the boundary line.
Maybe they're planning to hold on to a 2-goal lead from the quarter time mark.
Ball's at half forward for the Saints.
Barry's got the duck eggs.
Yes, Barry hasn't touched the ball, and he's just following Capuano through the middle.
Hayes can't control it. Creswell, good tackle on him by Hayes, and he'll get a free kick. Well,
Might even be worthwhile giving Barry Hall a 10-minute run in the ruck just to get him into the action, because every time he goes near the ball, he's outnumbered 2-1, 3-1.
Creswell. Short option is Nix. Gets to him right on the boundary line.
Nix's opponent is Jason Cripps, who is one of the best taggers in the AFL, so Nix will find kicks hard to get.
O'Loughlin, almost a clever mark in the pack. Boundary throw-in. Major possession winners for the Saints. Voss with 14, Jones with 12. And for the Swans, Schwass with 14. Bolton kicks it out on the full. Good pressure coming from Blake. The Saints have got to move it quickly. Kick back to defensive 50. Dal Santo. Pie play with Goods.
It's amazing, isn't it? We've played 40 minutes of football in perfect conditions.
Dangerous kick, Rewald.
And Sydney haven't been able to kick a goal.
Now he's got a couple of players breaking for him on the outer side. One is Peckett. He just ignores that and kicks towards Baker. Kick is poor. Chance now for Bolton. Baker has it at half-back for the Saints. They try and work it through. Numbers low with the Swans. Nix. Handball to Kurt. Fosdott, look out. Run down. Well played by Oliver. Callahan off the ground. And a boundary throw-in. Left half forward for the Swans. Still no goals in this second quarter. There was just 2 in the opening quarter. We've played 14 minutes second term.
I can see the poison pen's poise, Robert, about the style of play tonight. As the purists are going to go crazy. As Kirk squares it up. Oh, Goods with courage, couldn't mark. Someone's hurt. It's Hudson again. There's a free kick coming here to St Kilda, and Hudson hasn't moved. He got a very heavy knock last week, and he has not moved. As the Saints work the ball from defence, there's Milne. And let's have a look at this collision. Hudson has copped a shocking knock last week. Oh, and he's copped a
Brett Voss.
hit from Brett Voss.
His own teammate.
And he's out cold, and they've called for the stretcher.
Yes, they must stop the game.
They came from all directions in that pack.
Well, when the ball gets kicked high into Sydney's forward line, you know, Maxi Hudson, Capuano, they're all back there, and the odds have been against big Barry Hall. Hasn't touched the football this evening, and Capuano's job is just get back and play 5 metres in front of him, and Maxi Hudson play a couple of metres behind.
Tell you what, the way the Saints list is going, there's going to be some nervous kids in the Little League next week.
Well,
this is extraordinary, the amount of injured top-line players St Kilda
well,
have out.
9 of their starting 18 players didn't play this evening. Aussie Jones is off. You'd say he'd be out for 3 or 4 weeks. We'll have a look at it again. Maxie Hudson. Voss comes in, and his body and shoulder makes contact with Max's
Head.
Yeah, it's bad luck for Max. Disappointing.
He copped a very serious neck injury last week, which
He did.
Fortunately, it ended up turning out to next to nothing. But at the time, he had the neck brace on, and it looked quite serious. But gee,
It really does mean that Grant Thomas has got some thinking to do, because Maxie Hudson's played really well. His opponent hasn't touched the ball, and we'll just have to wait and see who goes back and plays at fullback for the Saints.
so the neck brace is on as a precaution. It's a regular occurrence now. It's part of the
Steve,
technique they go through, I guess, when they take them off.
we were down at Geelong last week when St Kilda got hammered, and at half-time St Kilda had a dozen players who'd had 2 kicks or less. Hasn't been the case tonight, has it? Just a quick look at the stat sheet, and you can see that plenty of St Kilda players are getting a lot of the ball, and they're intent on sharing it, and they're virtually playing keepings off.
So it appears Max Hudgen's night is over. In fact, he's got a fair bit of blood coming from the face too, which it's terrible to see. So Aussie Jones' night is over. Hudgen's night is over. And anyone who says footy's not a tough game anymore just needs to look at an incident like that. So we'll get an update on Max Hudgen when possible.
And Schwartz has been moved to full-back. He's the youngster who kicked 2 goals in the first quarter for St Kilda. He usually plays in the back line.
And we have a throw-in on centre wing. So we've been going 17.5 minutes in the second term. It's the Saints by 10 points. Gerard Wakely.
Yeah, quarters. Max Hudgen is talking. He has hurt his neck again. We know that was the problem last week when he was required to go to hospital in Geelong. The trainer's just saying he's ripped his neck again, and the brace put on as a precaution and now taken to the rooms for further assessment.
Grant Thomas, well, he just must be wondering, how can this be? A horrid run with injuries, the Saints. Doyle gets it down. Well played by Dal Santo. Came to meet the ball. Just a little bit too slick for Milne. Blake. Milne goes back in after it. Well played. And bounce. Dunkley still loose across half-back for the Swans. Capuano loose across half-back for the Saints.
Have to be one of the lowest scoring quarters of all time. St Kilda haven't scored, and Sydney have kicked 2 behinds.
Quarters 18 minutes old, although it will be a long one. Chance for Milne. Gets around Seymour. The chase on from Crouch. Gets a good shepherd. Dumps it inside, attacking 50. No one there.
In the end, the kick was good, because had he gone directly to goal, Dunkley would have taken it without any opposition. So I think the young fella decided to put it into the pocket, put it out of bounds, and let's start all over again, only about 30-40 metres out from goal.
So the Saints a chance as they regroup and get numbers inside their attacking 50. Dunkley still loose at the back of the pack. Doyle gets it down. Gets it out now towards Kelly, close to the line. Another boundary throw-in.
The pressure that the St Kilda players have put on Sydney has been really good. They force them into error. They don't mind having all of these ruck contests, the stoppages in play, because they've just got numbers around the ball, and they're just putting real pressure on the Sydney players who've got more talent, but they haven't been able to use it.
Lachlan Kelly now Crouch deep in his own defensive zone. Wobbles it to half-back. Oh, good mark, Saddington. Too good for Begley. And he has it at right half-back, Jason Saddington. Kicks long to the wing. Hall has his first mark. Just forward to the wing. Kicks into Schwartz. The Saints fans love it. Callahan, Schwartz, look out. They descend on Schwartz quickly. Oh, see ya. Umpire Nichols says you took too long and didn't make an attempt.
Tackling effort of Barry Hall was really good.
Nix, Hall. Oh, great contest from Callahan. Voss tracks it to the line. Steadies. Picks out Wolf at half-back.
15 disposals to Brett Voss.
Wolf, but that's a poor kick. Very poor kick. Kelly's taken the mark. For the Swans. Still a kicker goal. Inside their 50 once again. Dal Santo squeezes a kick out. Good one to Hayes. To Lawrence. To half-forward Oliver. Spilt the beans. Seymour ducked ahead. Play on. Here's a chance. Rewald can go short to Clark, but he's run down. Beautiful tackle by Kelly.
And wasn't that Kelly at his absolute best? And somebody should have been talking to Rewald, let him know that he was hot. He had to get rid of the ball quicker than that.
And McPherson takes the mark at half-back. Just couldn't get the ball quick enough to Clark. So the ball's to half-forward for Sydney. Dunkley. Williams being quiet. Peckett. Got a throw in. 21.5 minutes.
And Rewald takes the ball at half-forward. Kelly runs him down magnificently. And that's when you know that Paul Kelly's back to his best.
21.5 minutes gone in this second term. It is St Kilda by 10 points. Kelly into the pocket. It's a good kick to Saddington. Williams will run into goal and kick Sydney's first. He's missed it. No, he's got it through. Sydney get there first.
St Kilda players say it hit the post, and the umpire may have noticed that. No, all clear.
So it has taken the Sydney Swans almost an hour to kick their first goal. They finally have Paul Williams. And it just sneaked in.
Yes, it did. I would think that he's been taken off, obviously not for kicking the goal, but just before that he went one-handed at a ball. He was trying to finesse a little bit, and I think Rodney Eade would have been disappointed.
Capuano for a rare centre bounce, and deemed a throw. So Kelly, who's been fantastic in this second term, Paul Kelly, kicks out wide. Hall on the lead. Voss at ground level. Hands and knees. Dal Santo cool in a crisis. Cripps kicks it high. Thompson and Creswell. Well played by Lawrence. Got to the foot of the ball. Now Milne, the electric Stephen Milne. What can he conjure up here? He decides to take on Crowder. Down on one knee. Well, he's entertaining if nothing else. Stephen Milne gets it back to Wolf.
He's certainly not predictable, is he?
And off the ball, Milne and Maxwell, and Milne will get a free kick. Now that is, I was watching that off the ball.
It'll go against Milne.
It'll go, and so it should, because Milne just cannoned straight into Maxfield.
Yeah, and Sydney ball, Fosdyke takes it on the wing. You've got to admire the spirit of Milne, but sometimes he just goes a little bit too far.
Hall's his target. And Big Barry's not happy. Well, it'll be a test of his newfound maturity and patience tonight.
Just have a look at the size difference there. Big Barry on Troy Schwartz, and he's just going to have too much strength if he can get one out against Schwartz.
Throw in. It's the Saints by 4 points. 24.5 gone second quarter. Fosdyke, fantastic smother by Blake.
And his teammates acknowledge it. Fosdyke winds up. Blake comes from the side, throws himself, full stretch, puts the ball out of bounds. Well done.
Goods and Rewald will contest this throw-in. Nicely won by Goods, who couldn't get it to a teammate. Voss has been fantastic. We got a bounce down. Just over 4 minutes left in this second term. It'll be a longish quarter given the injury to Max Hudson, who was stretched off for the second week in a row. And we'll have another ball up. So Schwartz has kicked the 2 goals for St Kilda. Williams has kicked the only goal for Sydney.
And this is good coaching by Rodney Eade. Capuano, left of picture, he's been back with Barry Hall blocking him. Rodney Eade's told Doyle, get back there. So the big ruckman's back there to take Capuano away from big bad Barry. And that means that Adam Goods is doing some ruck work for Sydney.
Bounce on the centre wing. Rewalt, well, almost Swass. McPherson. Well played by Clark. Hayes. Good tries to get a clear position. Clark, well tackled by Lachlan. Play onto the call. Hayes, close to the line. Kept his head over. So, for the moment, the flooding is all but over, with players manned up right across the ground. Goods, sharp by Callaghan, couldn't get it. Boot to ball. McPherson slaps it out. Fosdyke scrambles it for gains 25 metres.
Just wondering, Robert, at the moment St Kilda seem to be matching Sydney's game plan. If you're Rodney Eade, do you throw caution to the wind and change your game plan midstream?
Sydney just have to get the ball in quicker. You can see Dunkley. Dunkley's now in the forward line for Sydney. That's because St Kilda had extra numbers in defence, so Dunkley's gone down there. Also, Saddington is now in Sydney's forward line. I just think that the Swans have to be prepared to kick the ball to a contest and put it in the middle channel. The ball's out of bounds all the time. They kick it to Barry Hall. Poor old Barry's got to run to the boundary line to try to take a mark. That's why he's frustrated. They've just got to dare to win by going direct and giving Barry Hall a chance one out. Doesn't matter if Sydney have 8 players in their forward line, which they're starting to do now. Make it a one-on-one and back your superior skills. You know, there's no doubt that the Saints have won the tactical battle to this stage of the game. How long they can keep on doing that, we don't know. They haven't been able to score in 27 minutes in this second quarter, St Kilda, and you'd have to think that eventually, you know, the young players, they'll tire, but they've been magnificent for a half.
Close to half-time, Nix gets it to McPherson, wobbles it for Dal Santo, clever trap, almost. Close to the line. Oh, I thought that might have been over. It wasn't. But Hall has it now. Barry Hall from 35. Kick to the goal square. Across the face. Doyle almost. Now a chance at ground level for the Swans. But the Saints, Blake was taken high, surely. No free kick. The bounce.
See, I think Rodney Eade's decided that St Kilda, if they're going to drop numbers back, well, he'll send his players to go back. So we've seen Dunkley virtually playing in the forward line, Saddington playing in the forward line for Sydney. And as we look at it now,
not one man.
There's nobody up in St Kilda's forward line. In fact, there are 30 players in Sydney's forward 50 arc.
Chance for the Swans. Bennett straight to Hayes. Begley under pressure, gets it to Rewalt. Kicks it along the ground, looking for the boundary line, and it gets it just in front of McPherson. Stephen Milne.
It is an intriguing battle,
so from a purist point of view, it's not pretty, but it's a fascinating battle, isn't it?
It is, that's right. Look, the purists would look at it and say, I can't believe that the players are kicking so short, kicking so wide. But by gee, I guess St Kilda supporters, they'd be proud of their young team at the moment. They're in front only by 4 points, but they've made it a real contest.
So we have a bounce down. Sydney's half-forward line. That's Callaghan playing his first game for the year. Been going 29.5 minutes in this second term. Rewalt got first hand to it. And over it goes for another throw-in.
There'd just about be a record number of boundary throw-ins and ball-ups in this first half, and that's no doubt what Grant Thomas wanted. Ugly but effective football, Michael.
Well, it has been effective, and full credit to Grant Thomas.
Rewalt smashes it out. Milne got caught a bit high, and it's come off a player's boot. Could have been Lenny Hayes. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, it's a Sydney free kick. And it's going to be taken by Crouch. No one on the mark, so Crouch is off. Pumps it long. Huge pack of players here in front. No mark to Noble. Capuano, that's intentional. The umpire says, chuck it in.
About 10 Sydney players say to the umpire, what about that? He says, throw it in.
So big chance here for Sydney to take the lead as we near half-time. It's going to be Noble against Doyle. Over the top came Hall, missed it. Oh! Right. Has been poleaxed by Big Barry, and Barry wants to go on with it.
I think he's had enough, Barry.
As I said before, it's going to test his patience and his alleged newfound maturity, the way this game's being played, and he has fixed up an old teammate. And Begley's got the footy. I reckon this is what it was like in the late 1800s.
Begley kicks long towards half-forward. Clark almost ran onto the loose football. Saddington lost the handle. Peckett. Handball towards the line. Bolton first there. And keeps it in cleverly, but only as far as Callaghan. Between wing and half-back. Chips to Hayes. Only one goal in this second quarter, which is nearly 32 minutes old. Dal Santo to Voss. Possession number 17. Callaghan, good running. He's run to attacking 50. Rewalt's loose in the square. Callaghan kicks it out on the full. As the half-time siren sounds, and what's been an enthralling game of football, the Saints lead by 4 points. 2-2-14. Sydney 1-4-10.
And let's have a look at Barry Hall. Oh, gee. Is that a charge or is that not a charge? And Andrew Thompson defends his teammate. And Big Barry flies at him. Let's have a look at Big Barry.
So it is half-time here at Colonial Stadium. And would you believe the score? It's St Kilda 2-2-14. Schwartz has kicked those two, leading Sydney 1-4-10. The goal kicker Paul Williams. Saints.
Yeah, quarters, if there's one thing the Saints could have lived without tonight, the worst thing other than losing would have been injuries. Two more senior players added to their serious injury list. Max Hudson knocked out for the second week in a row. The reports from the rooms is he's sitting up, he is okay. Talking to teammates, he is still being monitored, and he again has a sore neck. So you would think, given that it is his second week in a row taken off on a stretcher, he would certainly be in doubt for next week. His night, of course, tonight is over. Aussie Jones, the other injury, he has a long history of hamstrings. He's torn his left hamstring, so he's looking again at 3 to 4 weeks on the sidelines, adding to the likes of Harvey Burke, Everett, Lowe, Gehrig, and those players who were walking into the rooms. They were accompanied by Shane Warne, incidentally. St Kilda, with their match plan, they came to play this style of game. They got the early lead, the 2-0 lead, and they are trying to protect it. For Sydney, no injury concerns, but they've just got to work out how to kick some goals in the second half. Certainly a fair deal of frustration from the Swans' rooms.
$64 question, Robert Walls, is so far so good for St Kilda. Can they keep it up?
I don't think they can. I think Sydney will be a bit bolder and a bit more direct. And it's interesting, Cripps has gone to full-back on Barry Hall. And again, he will be undersized for that task. But St Kilda's running out of players.
So we start this third term. It's the Saints by 4 points. Attacking the footy is O'Loughlin. Would they got a nice rev up from Rodney Eade at half-time. Fosdyke's been busy. On the left to the 50. And it's marked by Kirk.
And they've just got to be prepared to go bang to the goal square. Instead of fiddling around with the footy, just be longer.
Hall's the target. It falls a bit short of him. In front was Saddington, no mark. Capuano. And we'll have a bounce down here as Creswell's all locked up by Hayes.
And I'm sure that Rodney Eade won't allow St Kilda to have extra players back in defence. He'll send his players forward as well. So it'll be one-on-one all over the ground.
So it's inside Sydney's 50. Mott against Capuano. Dal Santo had a fresh airy. There's Mott again. Got it out. Voss. Peckett. His handball finds Schwartz, who goes to half-back looking for Beetham. We'll have a throw in.
And Daniel Wolfe playing at full forward for St Kilda. Now he's a winger, but again because of size problems they've had to go that way. And Brett Voss in picture, #1 in the player rankings. He's had a lot of ball in the first half. Good to see Mott doing the ruck work for Sydney in this third quarter. The big fella spent most of the first half on the bench. Doyle was the ruckman, but Ricky Mott, number 38 in screen, he's had a very good first 3 or 4 games.
Boundary throw in, half forward for the Swans. Mott against Schwartz. Sharked by Callaghan. High kick Seymour. Couldn't complete the mark. Dunkley. Now Seymour, good. Handball in the up to Nix. Good tackle by Wolfe. Kirk. Nix. O'Loughlin. Bursts through the centre circle. Drives long. Hall. Got it. No, he couldn't quite hold on. And over the boundary line for a boundary throw in.
But that's the way that they need to go. O'Loughlin's been moved into the midfield. He played the first half across half forward. He's already got a couple of touches playing as a ruck rover, and Barry Hall almost took that mark.
And Cripps and Hall. Cripps is really putting it to Barry Hall in this third term. Capuano, now a chance for Hayes. Clever little pickup. Give to Rewalt. Hard up against the boundary line. Handball really to no one. Swans with the numbers. Seymour, well played by Hayes. Forced him over the boundary line. And Jason Cripps is giving away a lot of height and bulk.
Last week, Jason Cripps played on Ronnie Burns, the small Geelong half forward. So there you have it.
And Mott beats Schwartz. Peckett, defensive 50. Just stops and props. Wobbles a torpedo towards the wing. Callaghan almost. He covers well. And we'll get a free kick. Well played by Craig Callaghan.
As to who he goes to, I've got no idea, because Milne's up in the forward line. He's the only one. So they'll just have to just chip it round and play short possession football. And Schwartz has it at the moment. But Blake is in the forward line on Dunkley. And again, he's more of a back flanker type. And Daniel Wolfe, who's a winger, is also playing in the forward line.
He does the right thing, kicks it long for a contest to the back. Voss scrambles a kick, ball bouncing goalward. Across the goal face. First there is Crouch, and he keeps it in cleverly. Well, he was out, the ball wasn't. Now he's got a loose player at half-back. Fosdyke can run. Kirk in support. Kick barely covers 15 metres. It's paid.
Just got to be quick with movement of the ball.
Inside to Nix. He thumps it long. Hall has got it. Clever play from Barry Hall. Just double back on Cripps.
Sure, Sydney will move the ball on quicker than what they did in that first half, where they took it wide. And Stephen, in the media area at half-time, gee, a lot of the journalists, they were very, very angry with the way the game was being played. They didn't like it one bit.
So Barry Hall with really what is his first deliberate shot at goal.
Big moment for this goal umpire too. He's had no action.
He comes in. Across the face, they contest in the goal square. Not even a score. Begley. Voss, and now Blake providing support across half-back. It ends with Lawrence. And St Kilda out of trouble for the moment. Almost a mark to Schwartz. Dunkley, O'Loughlin, and now Williams has it. They've got numbers across the midfield. The Swan, he drills the pass into Mott. Oh, well, I thought he was off, Mott. The umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt. He kicks poorly straight to Capuano. And Barry Hall's with his arms extended.
Cripps to Clark. Oh, good challenge by Nix. Won the footy for Sydney. Barry Hall. Spoiled at the last minute by Voss. Tackle on Baker by Maxfield. We'll have a bounce down.
Gee, what a great contest from Voss.
Yes, he's playing a really good game, Brett Voss. He's had 19 disposals, and this would be one of the best games of AFL that he's played. Got there, got the spoil on Barry Hall.
Imagine this, he'd be filthy, this gun up. If he goes home tonight, he doesn't get to put up the 2 fingers.
It's amazing, though. 5 minutes into this third quarter, just 3 goals.
Umpire Chris Mitchell trying to clear some space. Got Ringa Rosie going on at the moment. Down it goes. Mott. St Kilda come away with the ball with the determination on Steve Lawrence's face as he looks for Milne, who takes an excellent mark on centre wing.
Good overhead mark for a little fella.
And he's off and running Milne. What can he create? He goes looking for Beetham on the half volley. Couldn't trap it, and over the line it goes for a throw in. So it is St Kilda 2-2-14. Sydney 1-4-10. 6.5 minutes gone. Third quarter. Mott goes up uncontested in the ruck. Gains about 20 metres for his team.
Well, Mott should just dominate the hit-outs because he's rucking against players who, well, they're not ruckmen. He's up against Begley. And again, Begley's a half-back flanker. Just look at the size difference. Capuano, of course, getting back in front of Barry Hall.
Shark by Thompson. Redmott's tap well. There's Xavier Clark. Bangs a long high one. Getting back was Dunkley. No, mate, here's a chance for the Saints. Callaghan! Callaghan, can he go? Milne! No! Umpire said all clear for a point. So Callaghan snapped. Milne, oh, it's a great spoil by Crouch.
Ball comes in. Chance for Begley. Now Thompson. Nice handball. Chopped off by O'Loughlin. And now the Swans out of trouble. Handball from Schwass was poor. Put Creswell under pressure. Good enough to get it to O'Loughlin, who hoists it high. Bolton on Lawrence. Wolf at the back. Clever kick to Lawrence. And again, gee, there's been lots of kicks that have just covered the required distance tonight. Lawrence.
Saints are happy when they've got the ball in the back half because they know what to do. It's when they get it into the forward line that they struggle because they just haven't got players like Hamill or Lowe up forward to direct the ball to them.
Here's a chance. Cripps has it on the wing.
Okay, just playing this possession game.
Beetham plays on, pumps it long. Can they take a mark? Ball to ground. Swans have the numbers. Dunkley to Schwass. Again, another poor handball. Puts Williams under pressure this time. Creswell. Fosdyke.
Schwartz is hurt off the ball.
Yeah, and that's a worry because he's one of their few tall options in the forward line.
And Williams just kicks to the boundary line. If we watch this again.
Yes, he's the meat in the middle of the sandwich, isn't he? Dunkley and Saddington just crunched him. Looks like he's going to leave the field.
So already the Saints have lost Jones and Hudson for the night. Schwartz coming off. Probably be okay once he shakes the head a bit. St Kilda have possession. They lead by 5 points.
And that Schwartz opponent, Dunkley, by himself back in the defensive 50.
Matthews for the Swans. Looking for Kelly on centre wing. Well done by Lawrence. Fantastic effort. Callaghan fires the handball to Lawrence. Lawrence gives it to Voss. Voss goes to half forward out in front of Milne. What can he weave? Oh, he's done it again. He's a little genius, this man. Oh, he tried to sell the dummy. Oliver into the pocket looking for Begley. He's got the mark.
Oh, now Begley needs to kick a goal because they don't get many marks in their forward 50. But little Stephen Milne, you've got to admire him. He's full of tricks. He twists, he turns, he's gone over. And
I wonder if he's got short stops on because he's slipped over a lot, or maybe it's one of the intentional plays, one of his balks.
Can you tell us how many goals James Begley has kicked, Michael? In fact, he's not even going to have a shot.
He's kicked 3. He's gone to Wolf. And he's kicked the goal. Go to a commercial break. Get us some money. As kicked St Kilda's third, they lead by 11 points.
And Begley, short pass, Wolf marks, plays on immediately, and he's put it through. And, gee, goals tonight are worth about 5 goals apiece. They're that rare. 3 goals to St Kilda, 1 to Sydney. 11 minutes, third quarter.
Well, Rodney Eade, some urgency, because the Swans find themselves behind by 11 points. Capuano. Creswell hacks it forward. Rewalt, almost a clever mark. Well played though by Goods. Oh, he didn't make an attempt. Oh.
St Kilda supporters have come to life, haven't they? They are really willing their players on. And Ricky Mott, the big fella in the ruck for Sydney, he's getting his hand to the ball, but he's just got to direct it to his teammates. It's no good hitting it first unless you put it to advantage of your ground players.
Jared Waitley.
Quarters St Kilda down to 1 on the bench. Troy Swartz went straight to the rooms, dazed and confused and more than a little groggy, so only Trent Noble as a spare man now.
Hayes, high. Doesn't cover the required distance. Play on must be the call. No, he's been paid. Dunkley. Set Creswell up. And he should be penalised for a bad handball. Because technically it's not a free kick, because Creswell absolutely had no prior opportunity. As we watch it again.
Just a terrible decision by Dunkley to handball to a teammate who was a sitting duck to be tackled.
Begley just needed him to take 1 or 2 steps and then hammer him. Bounce.
Milnes jump forward. If they can get it forward, they're a chance.
Hayes has it now. 60 from goal. Clark. Clever skills. Runs to 40. Kicks. A goal for the Saints. St Kilda have 2 in 2 minutes, and don't their fans love it?
Xavier Clark, the young fella who kicked it. Good play by Begley, handball, and Lenny Hayes, quick hands, out to Clark on his left foot. He's a left footer, only his 3rd game, and he would be delighted with that, as the Saints fans are.
Saints by 17 points at Colonial Stadium. Have a look at this bloke. Well, this is one of the most extraordinary games. It's not over by a long shot, but at the moment St Kilda lead by 17 points, and the way this game's been played, it's like equivalent of about 15 goals.
It's a match-winning lead, isn't it?
Kelly puts Sydney inside 50 from behind. Goods. Lawrence to Peckett, paddles towards the boundary line, and over it goes. So we've been going almost 14 minutes in the 3rd quarter.
See the frustration on Lachlan's face. They're really worried, the Swans. They just can't break free.
Must have come off a foot with O'Loughlin. Run down is Wolf. Free kick, Sydney.
Good chase. Had a real impact in this 3rd term, playing on the ball, playing in the midfield.
So 14 minutes gone, 3rd quarter. Fosdyke. It's going to drop a bit short. 3-on-1 contest. Got to be a couple of Swans down somewhere. Williams has kicked their only goal, and now he's kicked their 2nd goal. The floodgates have opened. As Williams has kicked Sydney's both goals, and the margin back to 11 points.
3 goals in 4 minutes.
Yes, Dunkley got the handball out. Dunkley, the full-back, playing up there in the forward 50, because all the numbers are down there. Gets the handball out, and Paul Williams on the left foot, able to put it through.
We've got a goal-scoring feast here at Colonial Stadium. 3 goals in the last 4 minutes. Just 6 for the entire match. The Saints by 11 points.
O'Loughlin gone forward in the goal square now with Barry Hall.
Mott, Creswell.
Rucking well, Mott.
Kelly. Hoisted high inside, attacking 50. Fist from Cripps. At ground level, Bolton a chance. Couldn't hold on to it. Dal Santo, well done. Peckett. Sweeps it out wide. Thompson. Lobs it over the top to Hayes. Oh, he's clever enough to get out of a tight situation.
Capuano in the midfield.
Begley. The kick was almost got to Capuano. Nicks. Oliver should have tackled, didn't. Now Fosdyke kicks to a vacant wing position. Has the ball, got the carry, it sits up. Clark will take it. Confronted by Williams. Gets around one. Now Milne. The dynamic Stephen Milne. He's got some zip. He's got some pace. He's got a loose player. 20 metres a 17-point margin. Man, what a great piece of play by Stephen Milne.
Yes, and Xavier Clark, well done there. He drew an opponent, got the handball over the top to Stephen Milne. Milne, a lovely kick, saw Begley, and Begley free in space, runs into an open goal. And the Saint supporters in the back, have a look in the background there. They're up and out of their seats. They're happy.
St Kilda by 17 points. Grant Thomas's pup, Rodney Eade. Well, he's got a myriad of problems on his hands. Who would have thought? This will be one of the great victories for the Saints, but there is a hell of a long way to go. As Callahan puts them inside 50, but it's chopped off there by Williams. McPherson at half-back. Clever handball over the top to Fosdyke, who's been one of Sydney's best.
This doesn't help Sydney. Going wide, going to the boundary line. St Kilda will be happy with that. And Rod Butter's in picture.
So throw in. Sydney into attack. Back of the pack.
Great hit.
Creswell, it was a great hit. Fosdyke once again looking for Hall over his head.
And Barry's looking at the umpires for free kicks now, so his concentration is shot.
Rewalt. This is Voss. And he's put it out on the full.
He's had a frustrating first half, Barry Hall. Now he's on an opponent in Cripps who's so much smaller.
Matthews, McPherson, great fist from Lawrence. Desperate stuff, Saddington. Kirk's handball missed the mark. Now a chance for Voss. Crashes through one, can't get through the other, gives it up to Kirk. Now Williams from 50. Player inside is Dunkley. Great spoil from Wolf. This St Kilda defence is fantastic. Kirk to the goal square, Capuano. And he's off. Wasting no time. Milne. Kicks along the boundary line, had absolutely nothing to kick to, Stephen Milne, and in the end it was clever play. Gee, I've been impressed with his match tonight. He's presented himself all night and really tried to create something for the Saints.
Just been terrific, hasn't he? A real live wire. Jared Crouch, his opponent, has his hands full. Crouch usually takes the opposition's most dangerous player, but Stephen Milne has led him a merry dance this evening.
Mott again gets a big pour on the footy. McPherson. Now Lawrence. I'm going to throw in. 19 and a half minutes gone in the third quarter. St Kilda 5-3-33. Sydney 2-4-16 in heaps of trouble. Once again Mott against Oliver. Milne. Out on the full, so free kick to Sydney on centre wing. Fosdyke to take it.
Dunkley's playing up forward for Sydney. He's a good marking option.
This is Nix in the midfield. Pumps it long. Saddington's there underneath it. Takes the mark.
And Saddington, their regular centre half back. Dunkley, their regular fullback. Both are playing up forward because their St Kilda opponents are down there. And Rodney Eade said, well, if your opponent goes down there, make sure you're with them.
Dal Santo just didn't have the size or the strength to go with Saddington in that contest. So Saddington directly in front, only 15 metres out. Kicked 27 goals in his 94-game career. He's missed. $16 points in favour of the Saints. 21 minutes ticked over in the third quarter.
Good to see Schwartz running the boundary line. He went off after that heavy knock early in this quarter, so the Saints have at least got 2 interchange players to use.
Lawrence across the ground. Wolf. Callahan breaks for him along the boundary line. He ignores that and dangerously kicks to Cripps, who's down. One thing St Kilda can't afford to do is lose another player. Cripps still...
He's been reported.
Jason. Jason Cripps taking the mark.
Oh, yeah.
Gee.
Jude Bolton coming in late. And Jason Cripps, the St Kilda player who's been injured, he's highly respected among his teammates. He's had to fight injury for the last couple of years. He's just had terrible hamstring injuries. Worked extremely hard to get himself back out.
Umpire Nichols just informing Jason Cripps that Bolton has been reported, I suspect, for striking. So we've ticked over 22 minutes, third term. As Goods comes from the ground, replaced by Doyle. We're just waiting for time on to be blown by umpire Nichols, which it is now. So Cripps kicks short. Oh, Dal Santo couldn't control it. Voss back to Cripps. A little bit groggy, Jason Cripps.
He's got the wobbles,
Yeah.
Cripps.
Beetham thumps it long, one-on-one.
He's out, Cripps.
Kelly a chance at halfback for the Swans. Got loose players in the centre of the ground. Kirk's one of them. Handball off to Williams, who's dangerous from this range. Confronted by Capuano. Capuano did well. He dumps it long to the goal square. Rewalt, clever.
Did it well, didn't he? Just pushed Doyle out of the way, leant back and took the mark, and a nice kick out to Capuano.
Let's go down to Jared Waitley.
Cripps is still on rubber legs. It looks like they'll take him off and bring Noble on. And Schwartz, he's up and running. He will be an option in the last quarter by the looks of things.
Lawrence marks for St Kilda at half back. 23 minutes gone, third quarter. St Kilda lead by 16 points.
Stevie Lawrence had 19 disposals. This will be his 20th coming up now.
Good hard running by Lawrence. Clark's one out with Nix. Couldn't hang on to it. There's Milne. The Gene Kelly of football. But not on this occasion. As Kelly over the top to Crouch. To Kirk. Kicks it into the man on the mark. Who was standing the mark? That was Clark. Turnover. Lenny Hayes.
Just
out
need
wide.
another goal, St Kilda. If they can get another goal 24 minutes into this third quarter, the way that they're playing and with the crowd behind them, they would be hard to beat in the final term.
Peckett squares it up to Lawrence in space inside the centre square. Can he find an option up forward? He's got Schwartz, who's just come on the ground. He plays on, kicks it, goal and misses from 30 metres. Troy Schwartz, who kicked 2 goals in the opening quarter. Well, what a difference that may have made. Behind only to the Saints, they've doubled the Swans score. 5-4-34 to 2-5-17.
Back to Jared Waitley.
Quarters Cripps fought the good fight. He didn't want to come off. He stayed on the ground for about 3 minutes and held his arms out when he came to the boundary line, trying to convince the coaching box to let him stay out there. He eventually came off and Schwartz came on and had the shot on goal.
And Kirk off, Schwartz on. Kirk making a handball error a minute or so ago.
Sydney take the ball outside their defensive 50. It's marked by Saddington. Williams has provided the run. Collects the ball at half forward. Drills it long. Doyle from behind, but Rewalt
Stood firm, didn't he? Very impressive youngster.
He played extremely well.
Rewalt's kick finds Thompson. Nearing three-quarter time. This would be one of the boil overs of the season, but there's a long way to go.
And again, they'll just hang on to the ball, keep possession of it. Cripps back on.
As Schwartz looks for Baker and takes a strong mark.
Good mark.
Great kick too. Baker backward of centre wing. Swans, we can see, holding sway inside 50. The Saints more effective to date. 26 minutes have elapsed in this third quarter. He wobbles it to half forward. Fist from O'Loughlin. Big pack of players at the fall of the ball. And a bounce.
And the ball going into Sydney's forward line. Just look at the numbers for the Saints. 5-2. Rewalt standing firm, taking the mark. I've got to say they've done it well, Michael. Like it's ugly football, but it's effective on the scoreboard. And at this stage, that's all the St Kilda fans want. They want to win because the last couple of weeks they've been embarrassed with their team's performance.
Well, they've played with great composure so far. Well played by Dal Santo, confronted the running Matthews, and turns it over. Peckett, well played in turn by Williams, who forces a boundary throw. Well, we're close to three-quarter time, and if either side can kick a goal here, it'll have a huge bearing on the outcome of the game.
Well, it will, because if the Saints can get another goal before three-quarter time, I think they'd be really good things to win. If Sydney get one, well, I think it's back to 50-50.
From the throw in, McPherson to Matthews. Runs into a wall. Here's Lenny Hayes, got no one to go to. He gave it straight to Williams, who called his name. Now to Schwass. Here's a big moment for Sydney. Back to Williams. He's kicked there too. It's not going to make the distance, and Capuano wasn't sure where the point post was. It's a behind to Paul Williams. 27.5 gone third quarter. 16 points. The Saints lead the Swans.
Unbelievable scoreline. Now here at Colonial Stadium, Riewoldt, who's been a star across half-back for the Saints tonight.
Just looking up into St Kilda's forward line, they've got Begley, Milne and Voss.
He's got to kick it pretty quickly. Close to the line, Schwartz and Nix lent cleverly on Schwartz and drops back. Takes a clever mark, loose players inside. One of them's Williams. He's dangerous from here. Oh, he kicks it high into the pocket. St Kilda the numbers. Wolf, well played. Plays on quickly. Peckett provides a run from half-back. He's outnumbered. He needs a good bounce. Can't get one. Oh, he does well to tie it up at ground level. Bounce between wing and half-forward for the Swans. And 28 minutes in third term.
Yeah, have a look at the numbers again. All the black jumpers, St Kilda, and good play there by Stevie Lawrence. He's on the ground, but he blocked Schwass from having a fly in that marking contest.
Mott won it once again. As the ball goes back over the line. Just under a minute remaining in this third quarter.
And have a look at the marks there. The domination by the Saints. They've had so many more than Sydney. It's because they've been chipping the ball around and playing keepings off, but it's been effective. They're in front.
Once again, the ball's thrown in. Capuano got the tap. Lawrence back over the line.
Played a great quarter, Steve Lawrence. Had a lot of the ball, been desperate, and he's been talking and encouraging throughout. Son of Barry, former Brisbane player.
50 metres out from Sydney's goal. Capuano did well. 3-on-2 here in favour of the Swans, but Seymour couldn't mark. Begley
gets it.
Here's a chance for Milne. There's no one inside St Kilda's 50. Milne around the body. Clever beat them.
Good kick.
Now this is an enormous kick in the context of this game. If he can make the distance, he'll be kicking from about 51 metres out.
Only seconds to go in this third quarter. And little Milne, everybody's excited once he gets it. He sees Beetham, corner of his eye, hooks the ball across to him. It's a really good kick. And Caden Beetham, he'll have to kick this ball at least 50 metres.
9 goals in his 32 games. There's the siren. In he comes. From 48, got too close to the man on the mark. It's gone through for a point. So three-quarter time at Colonial Stadium at St Kilda. 5-5-35, leading Sydney 2-6-18 by 17 points.
Well, it was a 3-goal to 1 quarter in favour of St Kilda, and the players are running into the huddle. They're pretty excited. Big Barry in picture, he's not, because it hasn't gone his way at all this evening.
So can the Saints cause an enormous upset?
We've all heard the expression, what happens on the field stays on the field. Well, on this show, what
And the St Kilda players during the huddle at three-quarter time, they've been listening intently to Grant Thomas, and gee, they're going to be hard to beat. Minutes played, Noble has spent most of the game on the bench, so he'll be ready to come back on. Beetham should have a little bit in him, but they've only got the 2 interchange players. Noble going to the bench now, so it looks as if Capuano, who's done a pretty good job, will continue to ruck. Fresh legs for the Sydney Swans. Well, Stevens started the game and then he was taken off halfway through the first quarter. And Mott is an interesting one. He spent nearly all the first half on the bench. I thought he rucked particularly well in that third quarter.
Here's Jared Waitley.
Well, Saints fans came with no expectations. They can feel it now. They can sense it. They're right in this game. They have 2 men on the bench. The 2 players who took the heavy knocks, Cripps and Schwartz, are both all right. They'll take part. For Sydney, there's no margin for error, was the message from the coaching staff. They can't concede goals, and they have to manufacture 3 or 4.
So who's your tip, Robert?
I think St Kilda, and St Kilda's got extra players in defence already to start this final term. So they're just going to try to bottle the game up, put the ball out of bounds, hope they might kick 1 goal themselves and keep Sydney to none or 1.
Capuano starts off well for the Saints, gets it to Thompson. To the half-forward flank. The bounce beats everyone. Saddington ended up with a football, and he switches back to the Docklands side where he finds his skipper, Paul Kelly. Maxfield, back to Kelly. Oh, he breaks the tackle. Kelly goes long. We've got some Swans there. Capuano filled the hole. In fact, it wasn't Capuano. Yes, it was. It was Capuano who filled the hole, couldn't take the mark, but he's managed to stop a couple of Swans who are lurking dangerously there. So we have the bounce down about 35 metres out from Sydney's goal.
13 St Kilda players in their defensive 50 arc at the moment, so they'll just bottle it up, force the ball wide, hopefully work the clock down.
Give that one to Capuano. Lawrence.
Yep.
He'll head straight for the boundary.
That's their tactic. And that's well and good, but if Sydney can get a couple of quick goals, the game's well and truly alive again, and no doubt that's what Rodney Eade will be looking at. He's got Barry Hall in the goal square with O'Loughlin, and they'll be aiming to get it quick to those 2.
From the boundary throw in, Hayes and Kelly. Well played by Williams, tries to crash his way through, can't get through Baker. Now Kelly. Good little touch in there by Wolf. Mott out wide, Creswell. Well played by Wolf. Forces the boundary throw in.
And we were looking at some record scores before this game started. Maybe perhaps we thought St Kilda might get towelled. But now we're looking at a record score. The lowest score ever kicked here is 8-7-55 by Port Adelaide against St Kilda in round 11 2000. So they might both get a record here today.
Hayes wrapped up and another bounce.
Well, we're only 2 minutes into this final term and we've had 5 ruck contests already, so there's plenty of stoppages in the game, and that's exactly what the Saints want. Just numbers around the ball and make it a dogfight.
Well, you can certainly see big pack of players around the football. Dunkley gets up, 3rd man, and thumps it forward, but boundary line too close.
Again, this will be the 3rd boundary throw in, and we're 2.5 minutes in.
Brett Voss, the leading possession winner on the ground, along with Paul Kelly. They both have 23 possessions to date. Capuano has got underneath the ball. Chance of Williams, the dangerous Williams. Oh, superb tackle from Voss. He should have been penalised. Turnover in any case. Dal Santo, little undecided, kicks it out wide. Peckett. Loose player on the wing is Rewalt. The Saints a chance. They must move it in quickly. Lawrence has run extremely hard. High towards full forward. Schwartz not quite at the fall. Callahan gets it out to Schwartz. Snap from 30 metres is high and offline.
And that's what the Saints will be hoping. The ball will be played mainly in St Kilda's backline, and they'll just be hoping to get a couple of fast breaks like that where they can just run the ball into space, and if they can snag a couple of goals, well, they'll win.
Kelly goes long, looking for Nix. Thompson.
Great commitment there from Andrew Thompson.
And the desperation, Brett Voss runs down Williams. Williams getting set to put it on the left boot. That's just terrific. And that's the way that the Saints have played. They've tackled, they've chased, they've spoiled, they've smothered. better than at any other game they've played this year. Big Mott in the ruck. He's just getting whatever he wants there, but he's got to make sure he hits it to the red and white.
He did it then. He's got it to Kelly, who gave it to Creswell. And O'Loughlin takes the marks. One of the few bits of flowing play we've seen from the Swans tonight. Hall provides the lead. He kicks in a direction and finds him.
Getting a few boos, Big Barry.
Barry Hall kicks it into the goal square. Oh, there's a goal! Dunkley! If you don't mind, Andrew Dunkley kicks the 11th goal of his 201-game career. Not many more important ones.
And Dunkley, who kicks this goal, it's his first kick of the evening. He's had 9 handballs and 1 kick, and it was an important one because it went through the middle. Dunkley playing in the forward line.
So what a great game of football. 12 points. Well, I say a great game of football because it's been tight and tough all night. It certainly hasn't been flowing.
It sort of grows on you, Michael. For a while there you think, gee, it's boring and it's just possession play, but you've got to admire the tactics of St Kilda.
Hayes stuffs it forward inside, attacking 50. Ball bouncing goalward. Swash back. Knocks it through for a behind. Margin 13 points. When I say great, I mean St Kilda have done unbelievably well against the odds to be in the position they are right now.
Blood rule. And you're right, Michael. They went into the game with 9 starting players unable to play. They lost Ozzie Jones and then they lost Max Hudson. So 11 of their best 18 players aren't out there. It's a terrific effort.
So Schwartz prepared to bring it back in. St Kilda by 13 points. Dunkley, with just the 11th goal of his career, has given the Swans a sniff. Matthews has it in the back pocket. Good kick to Saddington. Very good kick. So Saddington's got it at half back. Gives it back to Schwass. He finds Bolton on the wing. Got reported in the third quarter for a crude spoil on Cripps. Inside 50 for Sydney. Cripps was good enough, but his handball went straight to Fosdyke. He lost it. Great challenge by Wolf. Fosdyke again. Hall's in there. Comes out, back of the pack. Wolf again. Slung as he kicked. Nix has got it at half forward. Chips it into the hole. Seymour gets there. Can he run under it? Got a horrible bounce. Capuano tries to pick it up. Got boot to ball. It's a shocking kick. Straight down the throat of Stevens.
And Stevens has just come onto the ground. He started. First quarter he was taken off halfway through it. And Capuano, who's done a really good job in defence, he's just let himself down by going across the goal. And you see him here, he picks it up, the big fella. And I guess he's pulled off his kick there by Seymour, so credit to Seymour, but Stevens will line it up.
Scott Stevens, 35 metres out, has kicked a goal for the Swans. So he hasn't had much game time, but he's come on and made an immediate impact. Just 26 minutes he's been on the field tonight.
Yes, and Nix tried to find Seymour running goalward. It just eluded Seymour, but he did put on a good tackle. And if it hadn't have been Stevens, it would have been Goods who took that mark. Looks like Capuano coming from the field. Trent Noble doing the ruck work. Swartz on for the Saints. he's going forward.
So the margin just 7 points. The only 2 goals in this final quarter to the Swans. They force it forward again. Bolton, little fumble, but had time. Kick around the body inside attacking 50, haul up high. Dal Santo at the base of the pack. Just kicks, more hoping than anything. Baker and Kelly, and they force it together over the line. Well, just the Saints have played so well all night, but just 2 mistakes in their defensive zone, causing 2 Sydney goals. And still plenty of time. We've just played the 10 minutes final term. Goods gets it down, sharked by Hayes. Handball was too fierce for Thompson. He's got some time. Kick towards half forward, a vacant half forward. Dunkley and Peckett. Dunkley wants the line and gets it.
So have a look at the pressure building with Rodney Eade in the Swans coach's box.
Earn their money, don't they?
St Kilda inside their attacking 50. Boundary throw in.
Yeah, Ricky Mott down in the forward pocket for Sydney. So you've got Riewoldt and Goods doing the ruck work. And the reason that the Sydney ruckman's in the forward pocket is that his direct opponent, Trent Noble's down there. And Rodney Eade's not going to be outnumbered in his forward line. I think Goods should be able to out-ruck Riewoldt. Goods has done a fair bit of ruck work.
Just outside the St Kilda attacking 50. You see the time remaining. Thompson, handball searching for Lawrence. Tries to tap it to Baker. Back to Lawrence. Now a chance for Voss. Kick towards Callahan. Well, it didn't look too pretty, but it was very effective. Callahan will kick from just 25 metres.
Baker to Lawrence, quick hands to Brett Voss, who's played a crackerjack game, and Craig Callahan out in front takes the mark.
Must kick goal. He comes in and pumps it through for the Saints. So St Kilda have their first for the final quarter as their president looks on. And well, it was pretty scrambly, Rob, but they got there in the end.
Yes, and this is what they'd be hoping for. You know, they might only get it in their forward 50 half a dozen times in this last quarter. If they can get a couple of goals out of it, that's all that they need.
Callahan gets a crucial goal for the Saints as Rod Butters and Administrator Brian Waldron look on. Gets back out to 13 points. 12 and a quarter minutes gone in the final term. Here come the Saints again. Noble got the knock out to Hayes. Hayes over to Peckett. Peckett runs to 48 metres and has a long pot shot and goal! That's got the Prez out of the seat. That's the one bit of pure football play we've seen tonight, isn't it? Just straight from the centre bounce, down the middle, goal.
And the reason he was able to run as far with the football was because St Kilda only had about 3 players in their forward line. All the players are up the other end of the ground because Rodney Eade's got a forward structure with about 9 forwards. St Kilda's got numbers in their defence, so Rodney Eade sent his players down there. So Sydney's forward line is crowded, St Kilda's isn't.
19 points, the St Kilda advantage. Thompson bursts from the centre, kicks towards half forward. Well played by the Sydney defence. They're under extreme pressure now. Thompson tries to crash his way through. Held up, bounce.
And I heard Andrew Thompson interviewed through the week. He was bitterly disappointed with his own performance last week against Geelong, and there was a real resolve in the way that he spoke. He was going to show the way this evening.
Mott coming from the ground, Doyle on. The Saints by 19 points. Riewoldt to Baker. He's got some space, 40 metres from goal. Tries to pull it back and can't. Out on the full. Well, this lead they have of 19 points is the biggest of the match. And the Swans will need to kick 4 goals to win, and they've kicked 4 for the entire match.
As they run the ball out of defence, Maxfield to the wing. Nix has got to sit here, takes a strong mark, keeps his feet, plays on. Nix now puts it out in front of Barry Hall. Great carriage, great mark, Dal Santo. In just his second game of footy. Gotta love that, Robert Ward.
Oh, magnificent mark. He intercepted, he put his body on the line. He knew Barry Hall was coming. And the young fella from the Bendigo Pioneers, well, all his mates up in Bendigo, they'll be wrapped with him.
And that was a great shot because his eyes never wavered from the football, despite the pressure. Kick to the wing, Blake can't get it clear. Schwass, Kirk, now a chance for Michael O'Loughlin. Has a couple of players loose in the centre. Maxfield's one of them. He wastes no time. Kick inside attacking 50. Doyle at the back. Can't hold onto it. Dal Santo again. Cool under pressure. He kick gets to Lawrence. Begley providing some support. Or back to Dal Santo. That's dangerous. Gets it to Begley. Geez, showed a cool head, Dal Santo, in this final quarter. Baker, centre half back. Saints by 19 points. They're full of run. Voss.
25th disposal by Voss.
He's been a star tonight too. He's got a loose player in the centre. It's Baker. Well, he thought about going. Did Baker. Decided against it. Sydney have numbers back inside their defensive 50.
He's got Xavier Clark free. He hasn't been able to spot him.
He kicks instead to the lead of Oliver. He can't control it, and the Sydney defence get on it. Blake over the ball. He was lucky not to be penalised there, Blake. But the Sydney fans applaud their side as the president just pointing at a couple of points on the ground.
So bounce down 48 metres out from the Saints goal. Halfway mark of the final term. They lead by 19 points. Biggest lead of the match. Kelly to Maxfield. Cleverly taps it on to Saddington. Over the top to Fosdyke. This is a big build-up by Sydney. As Maxfield's got the football, he can run to the 50, he can run to 45, he can run to 40 and kick a long goal for Sydney. Great play. This game is not over. As Stuart Maxfield, a brilliant running goal. It's back to 13 points.
That was a wonderful goal by Maxfield. He had a hand in the ball on the half-back flank for Sydney, and he just kept running. We'll see that he takes the ball at half-back. Even before that, he'd knocked the ball on, and he just takes off. And St Kilda players don't come at him, and he's able to get 3 or 4 bounces. Ended up carrying the ball 40 metres, kicked it 50. 90-metre goal in the end.
17.5 minutes, final term. Margin back to 13 points. A great running goal from Stuart Maxfield.
St Kilda absolutely loading their defence now.
Bounce. Doyle cleverly to Creswell. Swans into attack again. Hall at the back. Can't take a mark. Dal Santo. Beetham can't control it. Stevens. Smothered by Wolf. It's tight and tough. Beetham diving on top of the football. Dunkley out wide. Bolton. He dribbles it to goal and misses. That was a tough opportunity. As we watch it again.
Yeah. And makes it a 2-goal game. So an important behind. Brings it back to just the 2 goals. It'd be heartbreaking for St Kilda if they lost, wouldn't it?
Get Darren Creswell down forward.
Yes.
That's what the Sydney fans will be saying. As Hayes marks, still deep in his own defensive 50. Almost 19 minutes gone, final term. It's St Kilda by 2 goals.
Saints have changed their ruckman. Trent Noble off, Capuano on.
Wolf now marks in the back pocket. He's got Lawrence on long. Good mark by Doyle. There's 3 Swans there. One of them's Kelly. Goes inside 50. Mark's taken by Dunkley. He's kicked a goal in this last quarter.
He's had 1 kick and 10 handballs for the evening. You wouldn't back him from there.
So Andrew Dunkley, just 11 goals now in his career.
Yes.
201 games.
Maybe Kelly say, just handball it to me, I'll kick it for you.
He's 35 metres out. There's the angle, so you can see the boundary line. It's acute. Now Andrew Dunkley, would ever have he practiced this at training? No. Kicks it to the tip of the goal square. O'Loughlin almost ran onto the football. Ball up 10 metres out from Sydney's goal.
It was a good centering kick.
Daniel Wolf, not a good kick option. Lawrence, 1 against 2 and much shorter than the other 2 Sydney players. Not a good decision.
So the Swans, they trail by 12 points. Bounce 10 metres from their goal. Rewald up and he thumps it through. Margin back to 11 points.
That's a handy point.
Yes, and Stevie Lawrence, he's been crunched. He's put his body on the line tonight and he's feeling the pinch.
Peckett at fullback.
Swans have set up a zone defence. They're filling all the spaces. Peckett will desperately try to find a short option. If he can't, well, he'll play on. He's got Rewalt long.
Goes in his direction in front. Oh, the youngster almost got hands to it. Voss tries to work it towards the boundary line and eventually meets his objective. So a boundary throw in, left half forward for the Swans. 21 minutes played, final term. Can St Kilda hold on? The Swans are coming at them hard. Rewalt takes it out. At ground level, it's all the Swans. And big pack of players, as you can see. It's been a titanic struggle. Both sides had loose players across half-back for big parts of the matches. Max Hudson, who's copped a couple of very serious knocks in the last 2 weeks, looks on. Swarm of players around the ball. Creswell can't control it. And another ball up, you would suspect, yes. And By Mitchell calls for it.
Just thinking about Rodney Eade in the coaching box. Last week, they got up with a last kick win. If they were to lose tonight against a team they were expected to beat, he would experience the absolute highs and the absolute lows in the space of a week. And that's really what football's about.
22 minutes gone, final turn. Half forward flank, Swans into attack. Bolton tries to get it out. Now Callaghan did well to Voss. To Oliver. Oh, great smother by Schwass. Ricochets off his back. And it goes over the line for a throw in.
Gee, he just charged it down, the kick down, just risking everything there, Wayne Schwass. Great piece of play.
Nobody at all in St Kilda's front half. Absolutely no one.
So it's all a question now. Can the Saints hang on? McPherson bangs it long. Hall sandwich. Dunkley couldn't mark. Doing the roving Creswell. Out on the full. Some respite for the Saints. Callaghan to take it. Two kicks would win it for the Swans. 2 straight kicks, that is. Still plenty of time. 23.5 minutes have ticked over as Callaghan brings it back in.
To half-back, Rewalt up. Great mark.
To be able to take a mark like that in a situation like this shows that they've got a young champion on their hands.
He is a real talent.
He's in no hurry, is he?
No, he'll just take his time. Eventually the umpire will force him to kick.
Just kicks it long to a contest on the wing. Bennett fist. Schwass at the back. There's O'Loughlin in support. Can he set something up? He's beset upon by a couple of Saints. Milne has it. The dangerous Milne. He has 2 bounces. Runs to 40. Oh, slips over again with those boots. Snap and goal. Around the but he's kicked it. Oh, Stephen Milne, an unbelievable goal. Oh, well, I thought he had mucked it up because he slipped over again as he has done all night. But he had enough poise to get to his feet steady and kick an amazing goal.
Oh, Michael O'Loughlin made the mistake of cutting back into heavy traffic. He was dispossessed. Milne picked it up, bolted towards goal. 3 bounces there. He's slipped over. He's thrown it on the boot. He's able to put it through. He's a bold player. He backs himself. He takes the opposition on. He deserved a goal.
The sensational Stephen Milne looks like he might have won the game for the Saints as we have a look at a replay.
You know, we tipped this, Steve. Before the game, we said Brisbane got beaten, Essendon got beaten, and we said you'd never know, there could be a turn-up. Well, there has been.
I didn't tip it yesterday. I tipped Swans to win by 90 points. Incredible performance by the Saints as Sydney go into attack. It's a free kick. 5-minute warning coming on the screen now. As Hall takes the mark. There's still time for the Saints. 5 minutes of actual game time left. And Barry Hall will line up slight angle 20 metres out from goal.
He can't take too much time. He's just got to get back and run through, kick straight through the footy. And he's goal.
Barry Hall gets his first. Back to 11 points the difference.
And again, the size of Barry Hall against Cripps. And you've got to feel for Cripps. You know, he's a half-back flanker, back pocket player even. And he's had to stand up and play against Big Barry. Mainly because Maxie Hudgson's not there. Nor about 5 or 6 other key position players.
St Kilda lead by 11 points. You've just seen the 5-minute warning. We've gone 26 minutes in the final term. Still plenty of time for Sydney.
Schwartz has been moved to full back. Cripps had to get away. That's a good move by Grant Thomas.
Doyle up. Oh, Creswell wrapped up by 3 Saints.
The only other option that Grant Thomas has is maybe to put Riewoldt back there.
26 3/4 minutes, final term. In what's been an epic battle of defences. St Kilda holds sway by 11 points. Capuano, Dal Santo can't get it clear. Kelly, good chase from Cripps. Milne, Kelly again, ties it up. He's an unbelievable player, Paul Kelly, trying to lift his side. 27 minutes and 20 seconds have elapsed. Doyle gets it forward. Can Nix run onto it? No. Capuano. Now Packett just handballs into space. Wide of the congestion. Milne. Keep your feet, Stephen. He gets it to the boundary line.
Got a hand on the ball, just enough to put it over the boundary line. Well done.
27 3/4 minutes, final term. Saints by 11 points. Doyle, Kirk, brilliantly smothered by Voss.
And the St Kilda players on, and umpires plucked a free kick. Jude Bolton will get it in the back.
Centre wing, the Swans doing all the attacking. He thumps it long to centre half forward. Big pack of players. Dunkley can't take it. Begley. Thompson run down by Dunkley. Well played. And another bounce. 28.5 minutes, final term. What a remarkable victory this would be if St Kilda could pull it off. Grant Thomas said before the match, he said, I'll be proud of my players tonight. And he certainly will be, because they have performed admirably in what's been a very difficult situation. Kelly hoisted high. Dunkley over the top. Now a chance for Doyle. Now O'Loughlin. He's dangerous. Can he get some space? Kicks around the body from 45. Mark Bolton. Bolton has marked just 15 metres from goal.
And again, he's got to get back quick and kick it. He can't let the seconds tick by.
29 minutes, final term. Jude Bolton. What a match. What a climax. Bolton taking a bit of time, directly in front, comes in, rams it home. Margin, just 5 points. So the Swans draw to within 5 points, 29.5 minutes in.
And good kick by Michael O'Loughlin, hooked it back in front of the goal square. Jude Bolton in the right spot. And centre clearance vital for Sydney to win. And for the Saints, well, the Saints haven't got a forward line. The Saints have not got a player in their forward line. In fact, St Kilda have not got a player forward of the centre circle. So when this ball is bounced, there will be 18 St Kilda players in the defensive half of the ground. Something I've never seen before.
We've got no idea how long there is to go, except to tell you we've been going 30 and a quarter minutes. The Saints lead by 5 points. Sydney force it forward. Bennett, quick hands to Creswell. Creswell might have kicked the winning goal. He's done it 2 weeks in a row.
Unbelievable.
Darren Creswell. I joked about it 5 minutes ago. He's done it. Almost 31 minutes gone.
And the ball was knocked Sydney's way. Good pick up there by Bennett. Got the handball across to Creswell, who burst from the centre square. Shepherding there by Barry Hall. Goes over the line by a metre and bounces back. That's a goal. Oh, Greg Thomas, how would he be feeling? Now, at this centre bounce, St Kilda has got a forward line in place. They've got 3 or 4 players in their forward line.
The bounce. Capuano beaten by Doyle. Wide of the pack. Dunkley, Kirk. Swans into attack again. Rewalt at the back. Can't take the mark, or has he been paid? He's been paid by umpire Mitchell. Well, what an unbelievable finish to this match. He has Beckley out wide at halfback. Can the Saints conjure up something? Got beat them in the centre all by himself.
He's got to move it.
He just kicks it long. They need a mark. Callaghan at the back. Bennett. Good mark.
He'll probably go wide and they'll look to run the clock down.
He has Matthews in support. Still inside defensive 50. We've played 32 minutes final term. Surely the Saints can't win from here.
That's not 15 metres.
Seymour. Cross the ground. Look out! Oh, it's a man. Ruby runs in. He kicks the goal. He's hit the post. He's hit the post. Wolf has hit the post. Oh. Scores are level at Colonial Stadium. 32.5 minutes in. And Rod Butters cannot believe it. Scores are level. Maxfield kicks long towards half forward.
Thompson couldn't gather the football. Now Kirk for Sydney. Bangs a long one to half forward. Stevens in front. Couldn't mark. Back of the pack is Beetham. Loses his footing. Can he get it to Lawrence? He can. Here's the last gasp for St Kilda. He pumps it to the 50. No mark to Saddington on hands and knees. Matthews under the pump. Xavier Clark. Can he get the handball away? He can't. There's going to be a ball up. There's got to be just seconds left.
33 minutes gone.
55 metres out from St Kilda's goal. We've gone 33 minutes and 11 seconds. Scores are level.
Chipping the ball across the front of goal as Sydney did. We've seen that repeatedly in these first 4 or 5 rounds of football. Dangerous stuff.
Down it goes. Capuano got the knockdown. Kirk's in there. And we got another ball up.
33.5 minutes.
So we've ticked over to 33 minutes and 40 seconds. Capuano. Dal Santo's in there. Locked up by McPherson. We have a draw. It's a free kick. It's a free kick to St Kilda. 60 metres out from goal.
Well, Sydney have to get all of their players back on the line. They've got to get their tallest player to stand the mark. They've got Dunkley to do that. And Dal Santo with the footy. I doubt if he could reach it with a drop punt. I don't know whether he can kick a torpedo. If he can, he's got to go for it to get that extra bit of carry.
18 years of age.
Looks like he's going to go a
Nick Dal Santo, 60 metres out. He's got onto it. It's not a bad effort, but it's not going to make the distance. It's a draw. It's a draw at Colonial Stadium in one of the most extraordinary football matches you will ever see.
Oh, look at... I think that young St Kilda player
James
got
Begley,
tears
I
in his
think he was
eyes.
crying.
And St Kilda have been sensational this evening. If anyone deserved to win, they did. They have played their heart out.
Tears from James Begley.
And young Daniel Wolf, who took that mark, played on and hit the post. Hit the post, didn't he? Unbelievable.
Let's go down to Jared Waitley.
Well, Andrew, what's the emotion?
It's just nothing. Just can't believe it happened again, you know. Just somehow managed to find a way to snatch a draw out of a real victory. Just when Wolfie hit the post, he just couldn't believe it. You know, it's just an empty feeling. I thought the boys just stuck to the guns. We had a game plan, stuck to it all night. I suppose the Swans were always going to kick a couple at some point. We just have to be at the last point of the game. Just unbelievable. Just glad Mac's not here.
Is there some honour in it, given what's happened?
There's no honour in it, mate. We got to win. I mean, to gain respect, you just got to go on with it. And we don't want to talk about honourable draws or honourable losses or any of that kind of crap. We just want victories. And you saw a very young side out here, got hard at it, and unfortunately just don't get the rewards tonight. But certainly a lot better effort than last week, and I suppose that's one thing the supporters can be happy about.
The last senior man.